Hi folks, you're going to probably see me a few more times. Saturday, February 8, 2025. We're going to talk about emergency power for your home. And I'm going to make a recommendation. I'm going to show you what I've been doing. Now, yes, a lot of people have their fuel generators, loud, smelly, carbon monoxide poisoning generators. I mean, that's fine as long as they're outside. But you should also do some, consider an investment into your solar charger battery bank units. It's technically not really a generator. The generator is actually a solar panel that brings in the solar energy through cables into a storage unit. And I'll show you a few examples. Now, before you decide what size of a unit you want, you need to figure out how many watts for a given area that you need per hour and for how many hours. I'll give you an example. My office right here. My office uses a total of about 67 watts. That is for my computer, my 42-inch flat screen TV plugged into my computer, all my Wi-Fi modems, and one lamp. So about 67 watts per hour. So if I'm using 12 hours a day of that energy, that's around 800 watts approximately. Therefore, I need a unit that's going to store 800 watts for a 12-hour day. So these solar generator units, storage units, there's lots out there. I've done a lot of extensive review. There's a Jackery, Bluetti, EcoFlow. I decided on EcoFlow, again, after a lot of reviews. They're all good, I'm sure. And what they are is basically, so a solar unit comprises of 4 components. One, your solar panel, your energy gathering device. An inverter, which converts DC to AC. In this case, a pure sine wave inverter. A charge controller, which regulates and controls the amount of DC energy coming in, which fluctuates depending on the intensity of the sun, and into the storage unit, the batteries. In the EcoFlow units and the rest, you have the 3 built in one, the 4th being the solar panels outside. So, for example, and I'll show you. So in my office, I have the EcoFlow River 2 Pro 760 watt unit. It can surge up to 1600 watts. You can charge it through your AC charger, solar panel charger, car cigarette lighter. You can also use your an inverter generator. I'll show you that separately. So if you don't know how many watts an appliance uses, for example, or your computer or your Wi-Fi modems, look in the tag on the back. If it doesn't give you the watts, it'll say the voltage, 120, and the amps. Sometimes it might be 0 point something amps. Times the amps and the volts will give you the wattage per hour. And so which area in your home do you need essential power? Your office, your Wi-Fi modems, your computer, chargers for your cellulars. And then just calculate how many watts per hours each day you're going to need. Now for my home setup, a lot of people have this massive solar array panel somewhere outside, right? If one component of that massive array fails, your whole system fails. Me, I do what's called zoning. So I have several areas in my house, about 6, which has their own dedicated single 200 watt solar panel outside. Some are connected in series, so it's 400 watts, with solar cables buried and they coming into my house. So one, for example, is my office, and my solar panels are quite literally just 10 feet away from me. I have mounted them on racks, rotating, Since I'm always at home in my office or outside doing my gardening, as the sun changes, I just simply go around and change them by hand. Too easy. So in the event of a power fail, I done it for 3 reasons. 1, by necessity, can't afford the hydropower. 2, in the event of power failure. 3, it gives me practical experience and knowledge in acquiring equipment. So when I do go off grid, did you hear that, wife? When I do go off grid, so something you should consider. I'm not going to go through all the different examples. Do your own Google searching. Look at Amazon. Look at all the specs. Most of my units are capable of bringing in, the ones that I purchased, 220 watts. So one 200 watt panel is good. So size up what you need. Yes, you should still have a generator, but if you need a generator, an inverter generator, which is a pure sine wave, it's a cleaner form of energy for sensitive equipment like your computers and your modems and things like that. And you can actually use that to charge up these units when you have no sun. Let's go take a look. Now here I have 3 different sized EcoFlow units. I actually have a total of 5. First one is the EcoFlow River 2 Max. This is the second from the smallest unit. It's about a 540 watt unit. Next is the EcoFlow Delta 2 Pro. Very nice unit, 768 watt unit, storage watt. It'll actually peak out for a surge up to 1600 watts. And then the Delta 2 Pro 1280 watt unit. So the AC plugs are on the back side of this one. You also have your USBs. For the River 2 Pro, you have your 4 ACs, USBs, different size USBs, car charger, so now each one of these takes only 50 to 60 minutes to charge up. So on the back side of one, you have the option for an AC charger. This is my solar panel input. So again, AC takes about 60 minutes to charge up. On the River Max and Pro, they can each take in 220 watts solar panels. On the Delta 2 can take in 500 watts. So what I've done is I keep my panels separate. And all I did is simply put an ABS plumbing pipe down through my housing here. Insert a standard galvanized fence post bracket from Amazon. So that way I can simply rotate them as needed. These are all outside my office, so it's not much for me to come out every 3 hours or so and simply rotate them into the sun. These are the EcoFlow foldable units, but I built them into a frame and mounted them on my house. And then several locations inside my house, I have the lines buried, electrical conduit, and then they come into my house. Some temporary wiring. Now you can also charge up your solar charging unit with an inverter generator. Just make sure it's an inverter generator. And absolutely make sure you're using a surge protector first. Then you can plug in your solar charger unit. And you can also do DIY, do-it-yourself solar generator or solar storage units. These are two that I've made. So this is my first one. Now, I'm not going to do a tutorial on how to do it step by step. There's many YouTube videos out there. One good one is from Chris from City Prepping in California. He's done a very good video. This setup is much like his demonstration with some slight modifications. So I'll just go to City Prepping, DIY Solar. So each one of these is a 12 volt, 200 amp, so two 100 amp batteries, 12.8 volts, so that's about 2,500 watts storage in each one. Basically, your unit is comprises of 4 components, or these are 3. Number 1 is your solar panels. Bring in your solar energy. Your inverter, in this case a 200 watt pure sine wave inverter. Charge controller, you need to control the amount of solar energy coming in for your batteries, because the solar energy through the panels is always going to vary. And of course your energy storage unit, which is your batteries. Equipped with proper fusing, power isolation switches, breakers, 40 amp, solar panel, isolation, this one's off, it's drained now. Battery monitor. I just did a cutout here for my pure sine wave inverter. My next unit, I wanted to scale it down. So everything is flat mounted on the bottom. I scaled this one down by doing a lot of side mounting. So again, this is a 12 volt, 200 amp, 2,500 watt storage unit. I used a smaller 1,000 watt pure sine wave inverter. Same size 40 amp charge controller. Battery isolation switch. All my fusings are actually on the bottom. Solar panel isolation switch. My shunt for my battery monitor. Then you have your battery monitor, which will show you the percentage of the energy left in amps, time, voltage, wattage being used. Now the pure sine wave inverter is always going to pull a few watts, in this case 6.6 watts. Now I have solar panel cables actually coming into my office, so if I have a good sunny day I can charge these up. If I don't, you can get a charger specifically for lithium ion phosphate batteries. So my hydro rate plan actually from 11 p.m. until 7 a.m. it's half the lowest rate. So I would, if these are dead, I will plug them in to my AC through my charger unit overnight. It can be as little as 25 cents to charge up one of these. Now you can go online and you can find battery packs that will connect to your EcoFlow unit, will get you extra storage. They cost like $3,000 approximately, they vary. or. So each EcoFlow unit comes with your cigarette lighter in your vehicle charger. It takes 7 hours this way. This goes in the back of your EcoFlow unit. Or what you can do is you can spend an extra $25 on Amazon, get your female socket for your cigarette lighter. The other end is your T8 terminal for a lithium-ion battery with an inline fuse for safety. You still have to watch it. And you can charge your EcoFlow unit or any other unit through a standard lithium-ion 12-volt 100 amp battery. The battery costs maybe, depending on whether you're talking about Canadian or American prices, anywhere from $250 to $275. Add on $25 for this, $300. It's 1/10 the price of a fancy looking thing that looks the same as your charger unit. It's a backup for your backup. And a backup for your backup for your backup is you can charge your lithium batteries on your solar panels outside as long as it's going through a charge controller. So get the appropriate size charge controller. So to charge up one battery, a 20 amp MPPT charge controller is enough. So when it's sunny out, take your dead battery outside, charge it up, put it in the shelf, in waiting. They'll last up to 3 months holding a charge. Then when you need it, so as you can see, I have backups for my backups, and I have backups for my backups for my backups for my solar. So if you have to run a generator to recharge anything, you do it during the daytime when everybody else is running their generators. And then you're running silent at nighttime. Clean, efficient, stored energy. Like I said, I have several areas in my home set up, each with their own dedicated panel. So far I have 9 panels totaling just over 1,700 watts. So if I have a good sun day, in about 6 hours, I can pull in 10,000 watts, 10 kilowatts. 8 hours Sunday, 14 kilowatts. That's stored energy. As well as the beauty about these things is they have what's called pass-through power. So while I'm charging this, and I have my solar cable coming in through my wall, charged in here, when the battery is charged up, whatever I have plugged in is taking the energy from the solar panel, not from the unit. It has to go through the charge controller and the inverter, but it's taking the energy from the panels, not from the batteries. When the sun goes down, then it'll start taking it from the battery inside. A worthwhile investment to have at least one. I would recommend the 768 watt Delta River 2 Pro unit. You can see a lot of packages come with the foldable solar panels, 160 watt solar panels. That's okay. I mean, they're also good for taking camping. Otherwise, just get a 200 watt solar panel with the appropriate length cables. Even if you're living in an apartment, you put it out in your patio. All you need is a 10-foot cable. Keep it charged up. At least you can keep your Wi-Fi modem going, your computers, any small appliances, even a toaster, coffee machine, etc. For a starter.